Hi everyone. Today in this video I am going to explain about lease financing. See, lease financing is one of the important sources of medium and long term financing. So lease financing అనేది it is one of the important sources of long term finance and or we can say that medium term finance. Here second point, the owner of an asset gives another person the right to use that asset against periodical payments. See here, for example, there are two persons A and B. So here A is the owner of the asset and B is the user of the asset. Okay, so there is an asset X. There is an asset X. So A as a owner of an asset gives another person, that is B, the right to use that asset against periodical payments. So here he will transfer the asset to B. For that B will pay periodical payments. So here asset will be transferred, asset, and here periodical payments. Point 3, the owner of the asset is known as lessor. So here A is known as lessor and user is called lessee. Here in this example, user is the B, so B is called as lessee. So here owner of the asset is known as lessor and the user is called lessee. Here the periodical payment may be made by the lessee to the lessor is known as lease rental. So as we discussed in the example A and B, so here A is the lessor and B is the lessee. So B will pay to the lessor, that means lessee will make the payment to the lessor is known as lease rental. The payment is called as lease rental. And next point, under lease financing, lessee is given the right to use the asset, but the ownership lies with the lessor. So here in lease financing, only the right will be transferred from A to B, that is lessor to lessee, but the ownership remains with the lessor. So here before giving asset on lease, who is the owner ante A is the owner. After giving the asset to B on lease, after giving the asset to B on lease, B కి asset lease కి ఇచ్చిన తర్వాత కూడా who is the owner of the asset అంటే here the owner of the asset is only A మాత్రమే owner of the asset. B is only the user of the asset. B అనేవాడు ఆ asset ని యూజ్ చేసుకునే వ్యక్తి మాత్రమే, బట్ హీ విల్ నాట్ ఎట్ ఆల్ బి ద ఓనర్ ఆఫ్ ద అసెట్. బి అనేవాడు ఓనర్ ఆఫ్ ద అసెట్ కాదు అని చెప్తున్నాడు. అండ్ నెక్స్ట్ పాయింట్, at the end of the lease contracts, the asset is returned to the lessor or an option is given to the lessee either to purchase the asset or to renew the lease agreement. So at the end of the lease contract, here automatically the lessee should return the asset to lessor. సో లెస్సీ అనేవాడు ఏం చేస్తాడు, లెస్సార్కి అతని అసెట్ అతనికి రిటర్న్ ఇచ్చేస్తాడు. లేదు అంటే ఇంకొక ఆప్షన్ కూడా ఉంటుంది, హీ కెన్ పర్చేస్ ఆ అసెట్ని, సేమ్ అసెట్ని ఏ దగ్గర నుంచి పర్చేస్ చేయొచ్చు అంటే లెస్సీ కెన్ పర్చేస్ దట్ పర్టికులర్ అసెట్ ఫ్రమ్ లెస్సర్ ఆర్ టు రెన్యూ ద లీజ్ అగ్రిమెంట్. లేదనంటే ఆ అగ్రిమెంట్ తర్వాత ఆ అగ్రిమెంట్ అయిపోయిన తర్వాత ఐదర్ హీ కెన్ గో ఫర్ రెన్యువల్ కోసమైనా వెళ్ళొచ్చు అని చెప్తున్నాడు. ఓకే, అండ్ నెక్స్ట్ వన్, see here, these are the features of leasing transactions. See, Here there are three features: asset, lease rental, depreciation. You can understand better in this diagram or in this table. See here, asset, lessor as well as here lessee. See here, owner of the asset evaru, lessor. User of the asset evaru, lessee. Right. Lease rental. So lease rent అనేది lessor point of view లో it is a taxable income. సో లెస్సార్స్ పాయింట్ ఆఫ్ వ్యూలో, లెస్సార్ అంటే ఎవరు, ఓనర్ పాయింట్ ఆఫ్ వ్యూలో లీజ్ రెంట్ అనేది దట్ ఈజ్ ఇన్కమ్. సో ఇన్కమ్ వస్తుంది కాబట్టి దాన్ని ఏమంటామంటే ట్యాక్సబుల్ ఇన్కమ్ అంటాం. సో లెస్సీస్ పాయింట్ ఆఫ్ వ్యూలో ట్యాక్స్ డిడక్టబుల్ ఎక్స్పెండిచర్. సో లెస్సీ ఏం పే చేస్తాడు, లెస్సార్కి రెంట్ పే చేస్తాడు ఆర్ లీజ్ పే చేస్తాడు కాబట్టి, సో ఇతని దృష్టిలో అంటే లెస్సీస్ పాయింట్ ఆఫ్ వ్యూలో లీజ్ రెంటల్ ఈజ్ a taxable or tax deductible expenditure. So next, depreciation. So here depreciation may be taken into the consideration by lessor. Depreciation is applicable to the lessor only. Here the depreciation is not applicable. The calculation of depreciation is not applicable in case of lessee. Calculation of depreciation will be applicable in case of only lessor, and it is not applicable in case of lessee. So these are the important features of leasing transactions. And the next one, leasing decision. See here how to make a decision, lessor's point of view as well as lessee's point of view. See here, lessor point of view, the leasing decision may be called as capital budgeting decision. సో లెస్సార్ అంటే ఎవరు, లెస్సీకి అసెట్ లీజ్ బేసిస్లో ప్రొవైడ్ చేసే పర్సన్ ఇస్ ద లెస్సర్. ఓనర్. సో ఓనర్ అనేవాడు ఏం చేస్తారంటే, ఇక్కడ ఏం చేస్తారంటే హీ షుడ్ పర్చేస్ అన్ అసెట్. సో అసెట్ని పర్చేస్ చేయాలి. సో పర్చేస్ చేసిన తర్వాత ఆ అసెట్ని మనం లీజ్కి ఇస్తే వెదర్ ఇట్ ఈస్ బెనిఫిటబుల్ ఆర్ నాట్. After purchasing that particular asset, if it is given on the basis of lease, whether the person is benefited or not, so we can identify or we can calculate based on the capital budgeting decision by taking into the consideration of capital budgeting decision. So leasing decision లో లెస్సార్ తీసుకునే డెసిషన్ అనేది ఇట్ రిప్రజెంట్స్ క్యాపిటల్ బడ్జెటింగ్ డెసిషన్ అని చెప్తున్నాడు. అండ్ లీజింగ్ డెసిషన్లో లెస్సీ పాయింట్ ఆఫ్ వ్యూలో ఆలోచిస్తే అతను తీసుకునే డెసిషన్ అనేది ఇట్ రిప్రజెంట్స్ ఫైనాన్సింగ్ డెసిషన్. సో ఫైనాన్సింగ్ డెసిషన్ అంటే వెదర్ హీ కెన్ గో ఫర్ we can say that whether he can go for a buying decision or borrowing decision. So buying decision or borrowing decision. Buying or borrowing decision. So that is why there is in here he may be said, or we can say that here leasing decision in case of lessor's point of view it represents capital budgeting decision, whereas lessee's point of view it represents financing decision. And next, financial evaluation of leasing. See here, there are two ways for financial evaluation of leasing. They are lessee's point of view and the second one is lessor's point of view. So financial evaluation of leasing, there are two ways for financial evaluation of leasing. They are lessee's point of view. So here we can evaluate the financial decision of leasing through, in the form, we can say that lessee's point of view as well as lessor's point of view. So who is lessee? Lessee is the user of an asset. Who is lessor? He is the owner of an asset. So here we can easily evaluate the financial evaluation of leasing in the way of lessee's point of view and lessor's point of view. See here, now we are going to discuss about lessee's point of view, that is user point of view. So user point of view lo now we are going to discuss what is a financial evaluation of leasing. Look at the first point. See, the following steps are involved in lease financing decision from the lessee's point of view. సో లెస్సీస్ పాయింట్ ఆఫ్ వ్యూలో డెసిషన్ తీసుకోవాలంటే ఈ ఫాలోయింగ్ 4 స్టెప్స్ మనం ఫాలో అవ్వాల్సి ఉంటుంది. సో ఫస్ట్ స్టెప్ ఈస్ డిటర్మైన్ ద ప్రజెంట్ వాల్యూ ఆఫ్ ఆఫ్టర్ ట్యాక్స్ క్యాష్ ఫ్లోస్. డిటర్మైన్ ద ప్రజెంట్ వాల్యూ ఆఫ్ ఆఫ్టర్ ట్యాక్స్ cash outflows under the buying or borrowing option. Under the buying here, the first point, determine the present value of after tax cash outflows under the buying or borrowing option. So actually see here, lessee's point of view, here there are two basic options are there. One is leasing option and the second one is buying option, or we can say that leasing option or borrowing option. So here first we have to calculate or determine the present value of after tax cash outflows under buying or borrowing option. So borrowing option లో లేకపోతే buying option లో మనం ఏం చేస్తున్నామంటే PV అంటే present value of after tax cash outflows ని డిటర్మైన్ చేస్తున్నాం. దట్ ఈస్ ద ఫస్ట్ స్టెప్. సెకండ్ స్టెప్ ఈస్ డిటర్మైన్ ద ప్రజెంట్ వాల్యూ ఆఫ్ ఆఫ్టర్ ట్యాక్స్ క్యాష్ అవుట్ఫ్లోస్ అండర్ లీజింగ్ ఆప్షన్. సో అండర్ లీజింగ్ ఆప్షన్లో కూడా మనం ఏం చేస్తామంటే ద ప్రజెంట్ వాల్యూ ఆఫ్ ఆఫ్టర్ ట్యాక్స్ క్యాష్ అవుట్ఫ్లోస్ని డిటర్మైన్ చేస్తాం. సో అండ్ ద థర్డ్ స్టెప్ వీ షుడ్ కంపేర్ దీస్ టూ. ఈ రెండింటిని కంపేర్ చేస్తాం. స్టెప్ 1 అండ్ స్టెప్ 2 షుడ్ బి కంపేర్డ్. సో హియర్ fourth one, select the option with lower present value of after tax cash flows. సో ఈ రెండిట్లో మనం ఏది తీసుకుంటామంటే ద లెస్ అమౌంట్ ఆఫ్ ప్రజెంట్ వాల్యూ ఆఫ్ క్యాష్ అవుట్ఫ్లోస్ విల్ బి యాక్సెప్టెడ్ ఆర్ సెలెక్టెడ్. సో ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఈ ఫస్ట్ ఆప్షన్లో మనకి ప్రజెంట్ వాల్యూ ఆఫ్ క్యాష్ అవుట్ఫ్లోస్ 1000 రూపీస్ వచ్చింది అనుకుందాం. ప్రజెంట్ వాల్యూ ఆఫ్ క్యాష్ అవుట్ఫ్లోస్ 1000 రూపీస్ వచ్చింది. ఇన్ ద సెకండ్ ఆప్షన్ the present value of cash outflows 1200 rupees వచ్చింది అనుకుందాం. సో దీంట్లో which one is less, we have to select it. So in this situation option 1 is less కాబట్టి ఏం చేస్తాం, option 1 will be selected. So here that is why the reason, see here first point we have to calculate after tax cash outflows under buying option, and second one present value of after tax cash outflows under leasing option. సో బయింగ్ ఆప్షన్లో ట్యాక్స్ క్యాష్ ఫ్లోస్ అవుట్ఫ్లోస్ క్యాలిక్యులేట్ చేస్తాం, అండ్ లీజింగ్ ఆప్షన్లో కూడా ఆఫ్టర్ ట్యాక్స్ క్యాష్ ఫ్లోస్ విల్ బి క్యాలిక్యులేటెడ్, అండ్ విల్ కంపేర్ బోత్. వీ హ్యావ్ టు సెలెక్ట్ ద ఆప్షన్ విత్ లోయర్ ప్రజెంట్ వాల్యూ ఆఫ్ ఆఫ్టర్ ట్యాక్స్ క్యాష్ ఫ్లోస్. నౌ we will see one problem on lessee's point of view. lessee's point of view లో మనం ఏ రకంగా ఫైనాన్షియల్ ఎవాల్యుయేషన్ చేస్తాం ఫర్ లీజింగ్ పర్పస్ అనేది ఇప్పుడు డిస్కస్ చేస్తున్నాం. సి దిస్ ఈజ్ ద ప్రాబ్లం. లుక్ ఎట్ ద ప్రాబ్లం కేర్ఫుల్లీ. XYZ Limited requires an equipment costing rupees 10 lakhs. So XYZ ki 10 lakh rupees equipment అవసరం అంట. The same will be utilized over a period of 5 years. The same will be utilized over a period of 5 years. It has two financing options in this regard. So they required a new equipment or an equipment which is costing rupees 10 lakhs. The same will be utilized over a period of 5 years. So ఆ అసెట్ని వాళ్ళు 5 years యూజ్ చేసుకుంటారంట. హియర్ దెర్ ఆర్ టూ financing options are there in this regard. First one, arrangement of loan rupees 10 lakhs at an interest rate of 13% per annum. 13% per annum. The loan being repayable in 5 equal yearly year-end installments. The equipment can be sold at the end of 5th year for rupees 1 lakh. So here under two options, the first option is మనకు కావాల్సిన 10 lakh rupees ని here we can arrange of a loan rupees 10 lakhs at an interest rate of 13% per annum. సో ఆ 10 lakh rupees మనం లోన్ రూపంలో అరేంజ్ చేసుకుంటున్నామంట. ద రేట్ ఆఫ్ ఇంట్రెస్ట్ ఈస్ 13% per annum అని చెప్తున్నాడు. ద లోన్ బీయింగ్ రీపేయబుల్, ఆ లోన్ని మనం ఇట్ ఈస్ బీయింగ్ రీపేయబుల్ ఇన్ 5 ఈక్వల్ ఇయర్ ఎండ్ ఇన్స్టాల్మెంట్స్. సో 5 ఇయర్స్లో ఈక్వల్ ఇన్స్టాల్మెంట్స్ బేసిస్లో మనం రీపేయబుల్ చేస్తామని చెప్తున్నాడు. ద ఎక్విప్మెంట్ కెన్ బి సోల్డ్ ఎట్ ద ఎండ్ ఆఫ్ 5th year for rupees 1 lakh. So after 5th year, at the end of the 5th year, as a scrap, the equipment can be sold at the rate of rupees 1 lakh. 1 lakh రూపీకి మనం ఆ ఎక్విప్మెంట్ని సేల్ చేస్తామని చెప్తున్నాడు అండర్ స్క్రాప్. కమింగ్ టు పాయింట్ ఆప్షన్ 2, లీజింగ్ ద ఎక్విప్మెంట్ ఫర్ ఎ పీరియడ్ ఆఫ్ 5 years. సో ఆ ఎక్విప్మెంట్ మనం లీజ్ తీసుకోవడం ఫర్ ద పీరియడ్ ఆఫ్ 5 years at an yearly rental of rupees 3,30,000 payable at the year end. సో సెకండ్ ఆప్షన్ ఏంటి అంటే ఇన్స్టెడ్ ఆఫ్ బయింగ్ దట్ పర్టికులర్ ఎక్విప్మెంట్ దెర్ ఈజ్ అనదర్ ఆప్షన్ we can acquire on the basis of lease also for a period of 5 years at an yearly rental of 3,30,000. సో ఇయర్లీ దాని ఎంత రేట్ పే చేస్తామంటే we can say that lease rental is rupees 3,30,000 payable at the year end. The rate of depreciation is 15% on written down value basis. So here the additional information is given. The rate of depreciation is 15% on written down value basis. Income tax rate is 35%. Income tax rate is 35% and discount rate is 12%. Advise which of the following option should XYZ Limited exercise and why. Okay, so here the rate of depreciation is 15%. The rate of depreciation is 15%. On which basis, with which method? Written down value method. Written down value method is also known as diminishing balancing method. Income tax rate 35%. Discount rate, here the cost of capital is 12%. Advise which of the following, and the PV factor here 12%. Advise which of the following options should XYZ Limited exercise and why. So out of these two options మనం ఏ ఆప్షన్ని ఎక్సర్సైజ్ చేయాలి ఎందుకు అని అడుగుతున్నాడు క్వశ్చన్లో. సో హియర్ వన్స్ అగైన్ ఐఎమ్ రీడింగ్ ద క్వశ్చన్. హియర్ XYZ requires an equipment costing rupees 10 lakhs. So here the cost of equipment rupees 10 lakhs. The same will be utilized over a period of 5 years. So there are two financing options are there. So first one, arrangement of loan, అంటే ఆ ఎక్విప్మెంట్ మనం పర్చేస్ చేయడానికి we are taking or we are arranging of a loan 10 lakhs at an interest rate of 13% per annum. The loan being repayable in 5 equal year end installments. The equipment can be sold at the end of 5th year for rupees 1 lakh. Second point or second option, leasing the equipment for a period of 5 years at an yearly rental of rupees 3,30,000 payable at the year end. So here the rate of depreciation is given 15% on the basis of written down value method. Income tax rate is 35% given and discount rate that is 12%. So here advise which of the following options should XYZ Limited exercise and why. Now coming to the solution. See, solution. The loan amount is repayable together. So మనం పే చేసే లోన్ అమౌంట్ అనేది ఇట్ ఈస్ రీపేయబుల్ టుగెదర్ విత్ ఇంట్రెస్ట్ రేట్ ఆఫ్ 13% on loan amount, and it is repayable equal installment at the end of each year. See here, the loan amount is repayable together with the interest rate at 13%. So here the rate of interest enta 13% on loan amount and is repayable in equal installments at the end of each year kabatti. So here the present value of annuity at rate of 13% for 5 years. The present value of annuity at 13% for 5 years. You can see or you can refer the present value of annuity table at 13% for 5 years. The value will be 3.5172. 3.5172. So here we are acquiring loan of rupees 10 lakhs at the rate of 13% per annum. So to know what is the present value of annuity, the present value of annuity, refer present value annuity table at 13% for 5 years, then you will get the value 3.517. Now we don't know what is a loan installment. So we said that yearly equally equal basis, yearly 5 years equal basis we have to pay. So we have taken 10 lakh rupees of interest, 10 lakh rupees of loan at the rate of 13% per interest. So now we are going to calculate what is the loan installment yearly. So here this is the formula for the calculation of loan installment yearly. Amount of loan divided by present value of annuity. Amount of loan divided by present value of annuity. Amount of loan divided by present value of annuity. So by applying this formula, we can able to get what is the loan installment amount per annum. So here 10 lakhs divided by, here the present value of annuity at the rate of 13% for 5 years is 3.5172. So 3.5172. So that equal to 2,84,320 rupees. The amount is rounded off to the nearest value. Here the value, here the loan installment is rupees 2,84,320 rupees. Now this is the step 1. Now coming to the next one, schedule of loan payment. So here we will see what is the schedule of loan payment. There are 5 years of loan repayment, year 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. And next here loan balance at the beginning of the year 10 lakhs. Loan balance at the beginning of the year. So first year beginning lo loan balance enta ante 10 lakhs. We are taking loan rupees 10 lakhs. So here what is the loan installment? Here 2,84,320 loan installment rupees 2,84,320. So here what is interest payment? So interest payment ఎట్లా క్యాలిక్యులేట్ చేయాలి? So interest should be calculated on loan balance at the beginning of the year. Interest should be calculated on loan balance at the beginning of the year at rupees 13%. At rupees interest rate enta 13%. So here the interest amount should be calculated on loan balance at beginning of the year. See, now look at the point. Look at the point. See here 10 lakhs into 13 by 100, that is equals to 1,30,000. See here we can see the working notes here. Right, see here interest should be calculated on loan balance at the beginning of the year, so at the rate of 13% per annum. See, 10 lakhs 13% అంటే 1,30,000 వస్తుంది. సో నెక్స్ట్ see here, second one, we will see first year loan balance at the beginning of the year 10 lakhs, loan installment 2,84,320 as we calculated here, and interest should be calculated on loan balance at the beginning of the year 13% at the rate of 13%, 1,30,000, 10 lakhs into 13 by 100, 1,30,000. Now in this amount, I mean in the installment amount, మనం పే చేసే ఈ ఇన్స్టాల్మెంట్ అమౌంట్లో వాట్ ఈస్ ద ప్రిన్సిపల్ అమౌంట్ వీ హ్యావ్ టు క్యాలిక్యులేట్, అసలు ఎంత అనేది మనం చూడాలి ఇప్పుడు. సో ఆల్రెడీ వీ నో ఇంట్రెస్ట్. సో వాట్ ఈస్ ప్రిన్సిపల్ అమౌంట్ మీన్స్ హియర్ the principal amount we will get from deduction of loan payment, I mean interest payment from deduct interest payment from loan installment. సో లోన్ ఇన్స్టాల్మెంట్ నుంచి ఇంట్రెస్ట్ పేమెంట్ మనం డిడక్ట్ చేస్తే దెన్ యూ విల్ గెట్ వాట్ ఈస్ ద ప్రిన్సిపల్ అమౌంట్ పేడ్ డ్యూరింగ్ దట్ పర్టికులర్ ఇయర్. ఓకే, సో హియర్ 10 lakhs, that is a loan at the beginning. This is loan installment we are paying as we calculated in the last step. So interest payment, interest should be calculated on loan balance at the beginning, that is 10 lakhs at the rate of 13%, that is 1,30,000. Now here principal amount, principal payment ఎంత దీంట్లో అంటే 2,84,320లో వాట్ ఈస్ ద అమౌంట్ ఆఫ్ ప్రిన్సిపల్, అసలు ఎంత వడ్డీ ఎంత అంటే వడ్డీ 1,30,000 అండ్ అసలు వచ్చేసి 1,54,320. సో లోన్ బ్యాలెన్స్ ఎట్ ద ఎండ్ ఆఫ్ ద ఇయర్ ఎంత అంటే మనం ఎంత పే చేసినాం ఇప్పుడు, లోన్ ఇన్స్టాల్మెంట్ 2,84,320 పే చేసినాం. సో దాంట్లో ప్రిన్సిపల్ అమౌంట్ ఓన్లీ 1,54,320. సో ఇంట్రెస్ట్ ఎంత 1,30,000. ఇంట్రెస్ట్ మనం డిఫాల్ట్గా పే చేయాల్సిందే. సో లోన్ బ్యాలెన్స్ ఎట్ ద ఎండ్ ఆఫ్ ద ఇయర్ అంటే లోన్ బ్యాలెన్స్ ఎట్ ద బిగినింగ్ ఆఫ్ ద ఇయర్ మైనస్ ప్రిన్సిపల్ అమౌంట్, అంటే దట్ ఈస్ సెకండ్ కాలం మైనస్, దిస్ ఈస్ సెకండ్ కాలం, దిస్ ఈస్ ఫస్ట్, థర్డ్, ఫోర్త్, ఫిఫ్త్ అండ్ సిక్స్త్. టు గెట్ సిక్స్త్ కాలం, మనకు ఆరో కాలం రావాలంటే 2 minus 5 చేయాలి. ఇఫ్ యూ డూ 2 minus 5 దెన్ యూ విల్ గెట్ సిక్స్త్ కాలం. సో 2 అంటే ఏంటి ఇక్కడ, లోన్ బ్యాలెన్స్ ఎట్ ద బిగినింగ్ ఆఫ్ ద ఇయర్ మైనస్ ప్రిన్సిపల్ పేమెంట్, దట్ ఈస్ 1,54,320, దట్ ఈస్ ఈక్వల్స్ టు 8,45,680, 8,45,680. సో దట్ ఈస్ for year 1 calculation. So here the loan at the end of the year will become the next year loan balance at the beginning of the year. So loan balance at the end of the year for the first year will become loan balance at the beginning of the year for the second year. Again there is a installment 2,84,320. So interest 1,09,938. This amount should be calculated on 8,45,680, 8,45,680 at the rate of 13%. Then you will get 6 lakhs, I mean then you will get 1,09,938. So this should be calculated on 8,45,680 at the rate of 13%. So here principal amount, how you will get principal amount, see here from 2,84,000, from 2,84,000 if you deduct 1,09,938. So here 1,09,938 this is the value will be 1,74,382. So that is called principal amount out of loan installment. Loan installment నుంచి ఇంట్రెస్ట్ అమౌంట్ డిడక్ట్ చేయంగా వచ్చే అమౌంట్ని ఏమంటామంటే ప్రిన్సిపల్ అమౌంట్ అంటాం. సో హియర్ ద ప్రిన్సిపల్ అమౌంట్ ఫర్ ద సెకండ్ ఇయర్ ఇస్ 1,74,382 rupees. Now how to get loan balance at the end of the year. How to get loan balance at the end of the year? So it is common, that is 2 second column minus fifth column. So that is 8,45,680, 8,45,680 minus 1,74,382. Then you will get 6,71,298. So that is the amount loan balance at the end of the year. So here the loan balance at the end of the year will become opening balance for the beginning of the year at year 3. So this is rupees 3, I mean 6 lakhs 71,298 is the loan balance at the beginning of the year. And again same loan installment will be same, and here interest 87,269 should be calculated on opening balance of the amount or opening balance of the loan at the rate of 13%. And here the principal payment, here how we will get principal payment means here interest payment, interest payment should be deducted from loan installment. So loan installment minus interest payment, loan installment minus interest payment is equals to principal amount. So 2,84,320 minus 87,269, that is equals to 1,97,051. And what is the loan balance at the end of the year? So that is 6,71,298 minus principal amount, that is 1,97,051. Then the loan balance at the end of the year is 4,74,247. So here how we will get this amount means loan at the beginning minus principal payment during the year, loan at the beginning minus principal payment at the or during the year, then we will get the loan balance at the end of the year, that is 4,74,247. It will become opening balance for the next year, that is year 4. Opening balance for the next year, that is year 4, 4,74,247. As usually we are paying loan installment 2,84,320 at the end of the year loan installment, and here the interest is 13% on 4,74,247. The interest should be calculated always on loan balance at the beginning of the year. So that is 61,652. And next the principal amount we will get here. The principal amount we will get loan installment minus interest payment, loan installment minus interest payment, then we will get principal payment, that is 2,84,320 minus 61,652, that is equals to 2,22,668. So how to get loan balance at the end of the year? So here loan balance at the beginning minus principal payment, loan balance at the beginning minus principal payment, loan balance at the beginning minus principal payment, that is equals to loan balance at the end of the year 2,51,579. And here 2,51,579 will become opening balance or loan balance at the beginning of the year for the 5th year. Now here see, in the 5th year the loan installment little bit changed, because now look at the interest payment. Here we have to calculate 13% interest on 2,51,579, then the value will be 32,705. So here what is the loan balance at the beginning? Loan balance at the beginning 2,51,579 at the beginning of the 5th year. So at the end of the year it should become 0. So 0 కావాలంటే మనం ఏం చేయాలి? we have to pay 2,51,579. So this is the principal amount. So the entire principal amount we are paying now here, then loan balance will become 0 at the end of the year. So here what is the principal amount at the beginning? 2,51,579. So we paid entire principal amount at the end of the year, so that the loan balance at the beginning of the year is 0. Okay, so here this is the interest we have calculated on 2,51,579. So if you add these two, that is interest payment and principal payment, then you will get the loan amount here. Here in this particular last year, once again, see, this is the opening balance of loan amount at the end of the, at the beginning of the year. So we calculated interest 13% on 2,51,579. Now we have to pay 2,51,579 at the end of the year, the total amount, so that the loan balance will become 0. Now if you add 2,51,579 plus 32,705, that is principal payment and interest payment, the loan amount will come, that is 2,84,284 rupees. So here till now we have discussed how to calculate loan installment and what is the schedule of loan installment. The schedule of loan installment furtherly will be very useful at the time of further calculation. Next, now see here, next step is calculation of present value of after tax cash outflows under debt option. So that is called borrowing option. So borrowing option లో మనం ఏం చేస్తామంటే ఇప్పుడు present value of after tax cash outflows, now we are calculating by using this table. See here, year end, first column, second column loan installment, and third column it is meant for tax savings on interest on depreciation. This is total together interest and depreciation. Now net cash outflow, and next present value factor at the rate of 12%, present value of after tax net cash outflow. And see here, this is the required, we can say that, to make the decision whether the company should go for option, buying or leasing option. See, listen carefully this part. See, year end 1 2 3 4 5, there are 5 years, and here look at the loan installment. So we have taken this entire column from the loan installment in the last step. See here, you see the step here, what are the loan installments are there na? So the same amounts we have taken there, loan installments. See here at the end 2,84,284. So here 2,84,284. So this is the step we have taken from last calculation, that is loan schedule, loan payment schedule దగ్గర నుంచి తీసుకున్నాం. See here, interest, here tax savings on interest and depreciation, we have calculated on working notes. Now we'll go for working notes. See, already in the previous table, you look at the interest payments, see interest payments year wise, 1,30,000, 1,09,938, 87,269, 61,652, and at the end of the fifth year 32,705. You remember interest payments, right? Now see tax savings on interest, interest. Calculation of tax savings on interest. So here in the given problem, the tax rate is given 35. You see, look at the problem. Tax rate is given. See here, the income tax rate is 35%. Depreciation is 15%. See, income tax rate is 35%. Depreciation is 15%. Now see, now first we will calculate tax savings on interest. So here interest into, here 35% is there, tax savings on interest 35% is given. So that is why there is an interest into 35 by 100. That is why there is an interest into 35 by 100. So year 1 interest, this interest, these are the amounts we have taken from loan పేమెంట్ షెడ్యూల్. సో లోన్ పేమెంట్ షెడ్యూల్ దగ్గర నుంచి ఈ 5 ఇయర్స్కి సంబంధించిన ఇంట్రెస్ట్ అమౌంట్ మనం తీసుకున్నాం. ఓకే, సో నౌ 1,30,000 ఇంటూ 35 by 100, 45,500. సో హియర్ 45,500 ఫర్ ద ఇయర్ 1 ట్యాక్స్ సేవింగ్స్ ఆన్ ఇంట్రెస్ట్, అండ్ ఇయర్ 2 1,09,938 ఇంటూ 35 by 100, that is equals to 38,478. Year 3 87,269 into 35 by 100, that is equals to 30,544. Year 4 61,652 into 35 by 100, that is equals to 21,578. Year 5 32,705 into 35 by 100, that is equals to 11,447. So these are the tax savings. These are the amounts of tax savings. See here, these amounts we have taken here. These amounts we have taken here. You see, tax savings on interest. So these are the amount we have taken from working notes. Okay, now we will go for depreciation. Tax savings on depreciation. Now we'll calculate depreciation. Look at the calculation of depreciation and tax savings on depreciation. So depreciation calculate చేస్తున్నాం, at the same time tax savings on depreciation కూడా ఈ step లో మనం calculate చేస్తున్నాం. See here, there are 5 years, 1 2 3 4 5. Here asset value at the beginning of the year ఎంత, 10 lakhs. Starting లో 10 lakhs కదా asset value. So what is the rate of depreciation? 15%. So calculate 15% on asset value at the beginning. So if you calculate 15% on 10 lakhs, then you will get 1,50,000. So 10 lakhs minus 1,50,000, then the asset value will be 8,50,000 at the end of the year. Are you catching the point? What is the value of asset? See here, the depreciation is charged on the basis of written down value method. సో రిటర్న్ డౌన్ వాల్యూ మెథడ్లో డిప్రిసియేషన్ మనం క్యాలిక్యులేట్ చేస్తున్నాం. సో ఎవ్రీ ఇయర్ ఇక్కడ డిప్రిసియేషన్ ఏమవుతుంది, తగ్గుతూ ఉంటుంది. రిటర్న్ డౌన్ వాల్యూ మెథడ్. రిటర్న్ డౌన్ వాల్యూ మెథడ్ అంటే ఏంటి? సి హియర్, ద డిప్రిసియేషన్ షుడ్ బి క్యాలిక్యులేటెడ్ ఆన్ ఓపెనింగ్ బ్యాలెన్స్ ఆఫ్ ద అసెట్. ద డిప్రిసియేషన్ షుడ్ బి క్యాలిక్యులేటెడ్ ఆన్ ద వాల్యూ ఆఫ్ అసెట్ ఎట్ ద బిగినింగ్. ద వాల్యూ ఆఫ్ అసెట్ ఎట్ ద బిగినింగ్. డిప్రిసియేషన్ షుడ్ బి క్యాలిక్యులేటెడ్ ఆన్ the value of the asset at the beginning. So now here at the beginning the value of asset is 10 lakhs. Now what is the rate of depreciation? 15%. So calculate 10 lakhs, 15% means 1,50,000. So 10 lakhs minus 1,50,000 means at the end of the year the asset value is 8,50,000. Okay, so we will see this column next. This column we will see later. First we will calculate what is the depreciation amount. Now asset value at the end of the year, here it will become asset value at the beginning of the second year. Now calculate 15%. Calculate 15% on 8,50,000. Then you will get the depreciation will be 1,27,500. The value at the end of the year 8,50,000 minus 1,27,500, that is equals to 7,22,500. The 7,22,500 will become opening balance for the year 3, and again calculate depreciation 15% on 7 lakh 22,500. Again calculate depreciation 15% on 7 lakh 22,500. Then you will get 1 lakh 8,375. Now deduct 1 lakh 8,375 from the beginning balance. Then you will get closing balance 6 lakhs 12 14,000 6 lakhs 14,125. This 6 lakhs 14,125 will become opening balance for the year 4. Will become opening balance for the year 4. And again calculate 15% depreciation on opening balance. Then you will get 92,119 and deduct depreciation from the value of asset at the beginning. Then you will get closing value of the asset at the end of the year, that is 5,22,006 rupees. So here the 5,22,006 rupees will become opening balance for the 5th year, and calculate 15% depreciation on 5,22,006 rupees. Then the value of depreciation is 78,301. So here the value of depreciation 78,301 should be calculated on 5,22,006 rupees at the rate of 15%. Now here the depreciation amount is 78,301. This amount should be deductible from asset value at the beginning of the year. Then we will get what is the closing balance of the asset value at the end of the year 5, that is 4,43,705. Now these are the depreciation amounts. So these are the depreciation amounts. This depreciation amount is calculated at the beginning of the year, calculated on the value of at the beginning of the year, the value of asset at the beginning of the year. Now we'll go for calculation of tax savings 35% on depreciation. So what is depreciation here? These are the depreciations. So now 35% we have to calculate. 35% on 1,50,000, 35% on 1,27,500, 35% on 1,08,007 375, 35% on 92,119, and 35% on 78,301. Then you will get these answers. Okay, 35% should be calculated on depreciation amount. Then 52,500 for the first year, 44,625 for the second year, 37,931 for the third year, 32,242 for the fourth year, 27,405 for the fifth year. So these amounts now we are taking for the, we can say that, calculation of tax savings on depreciation. So 52,500 and the last year 27,405. We'll see here 52,500, 27,405. These are the values we have got from working notes. We have got from working notes. Okay. Now see, these are the year column. This is a loan installment we have taken from loan schedule, and this is interest we have taken from working notes, and this is depreciation we have taken from working notes. Now total. So total means here interest and depreciation. You add interest and depreciation, then you will get total. You add interest and depreciation, you will get total, that is 45,500 plus 52,500, 98,000, 38,478, 44,625, 83,103, like that. 11,447 plus 27,405, then you will get 38,852. So this total amount, the total amount we are getting by adding interest and depreciation. So these are the total tax savings in the form of interest and depreciation. That is third column. Okay. Now coming to the fourth column, net cash outflow. So what is net cash outflow? So what is net cash outflow ante, మనం ఇంట్రెస్ట్ ఎంత, లోన్ ఎంత పే చేస్తున్నాం, this is the loan amount. So how much we are getting benefit? This is the third column, we are getting benefit. So what is the net amount we are paying ante, see here 2 minus 3. So ఈ కాలం నుంచి ఈ కాలం తీసేస్తే దెన్ we will get fourth column, that is actual net cash outflow. So here I already mentioned fourth column, this is fourth column is equals to 2 minus 3. So 2 minus 3 ante here 2,84,320 minus 2,84,320 minus 98,000, then you will get 1,86,320. Next, for example, third year 2,84,320 minus 68,475, then you will get 2,15,845. For example, last year 2,84,284 minus 38,852, then you will get 2,45,432. So this is the fourth column, we will get deducting third column from second column నుంచి థర్డ్ కాలం తీసేస్తే మనకు వచ్చేది ఏంటంటే నెట్ క్యాష్ అవుట్ఫ్లోస్. సో సెకండ్ కాలం ఏంటి, లోన్ ఇన్స్టాల్మెంట్ నుంచి మనకు వచ్చే బెనిఫిట్స్ని తీసేస్తే వీఆర్ పేయింగ్ దిస్ మచ్, వీఆర్ గెటింగ్ దిస్ మచ్ ఆఫ్, or these are the benefits. After deduction of benefits, what is the net cash outflow we are making means this column. This is the column for the net cash outflow. Net cash outflow. Now next step is present value factor at the rate of 12%. So here in the given problem it was clearly mentioned that here the discount rate is 12%, that is called present value factor. Here the present value factor is 12%, we are taking present value factor 12%. So here these are the values for the present value table. PV factor, I mean present value factor, you refer present value table మనం రిఫర్ చేస్తే then we will get present value factor for the 5 years at the rate of 12% దగ్గర 5 years valuesకి వస్తాయి. ఎంత 0.893, 0.797, 0.712, 0.636, 0.562. So and the last column, that is present value of after tax net cash flows. Present value of after tax net cash flow. So that is nothing but fourth column multiplied with fifth column. So these are the net cash flows na. So these are the present values. Now we are making multiplication of net cash flows. We are making multiplication of net cash outflows and present value factor or present value factor values. Now 1,86,320 into 0.893, that is 1,66,384. Next second year 2,01,217 into 0.797, that is equals to 1,60,370. So like that I am calculating fifth year 2,45,432 into 0.567, that is equals to 1,39,160. The total of present value of after tax net cash outflows, that is 7,66,194. But here in the given problem, here it is mentioned that if you purchase that asset, there is a salvage value at the end of fifth year. The salvage value is 1 lakh. So at the end of the fifth year, what is the value of salvage? The salvage value is 1 lakh. Now we are less salvage value ante it is scrap value, so that is income. So income వస్తుంది మనకు. Now from the outflows we are deducting income. Present value of salvage value at the end of fifth year 1 lakh. So here that 1 lakh rupee into what is the present value of 1 lakh ante at the end of fifth year కదా. So fifth year దగ్గర వాల్యూ ఏముంది, what is the present value factor? 0.567. So 1 lakh into 0.567, because 1 lakh rupee that is at the beginning of the first year, but the salvage value should be calculated at the end of the fifth year కాబట్టి fifth year దగ్గర వాల్యూ ఎంత ఉంది present value table, that is 0.567. So 1 lakh into 0.567, that is fifth year. At the end of fifth year, that is 56,700. So now if you less this amount, the grand total, if you deduct this amount, the amount will be called as total present value of cash outflows under debt option. So under debt option lo total present value of cash outflows enta ante 7,09,494. 7,09,494. Now this is the total present value of cash outflows, 7,09,494. This is calculation of present value of after tax cash outflows under debt option. So first option we have done, and second option is very simple, that is calculation of present value of after tax cash outflows under leasing option. So till now we have discussed about the present value of cash outflows after tax under debt option. Now we are going for making calculation under leasing option. So here lease rental are same, 3,30,000 in the given problem. See here, lease rental given in the problem is 3,30,000 payable at the end of the year. Yearly same amount, 3,30,000. So that is why there is no change in outflows. We have taken in one single column, that is 1 to 5 years, 3,30,000. Okay, so tax savings enta anadu 35%. So calculate 35% on 3,30,000. Then you will get 1,15,500. Calculate 35% tax savings on lease rental. ఒకవేళ మనం లీజ్ ఆప్షన్ తీసుకుంటే, సో హియర్ చెప్పాం కదా, లెస్సీస్ పాయింట్ ఆఫ్ వ్యూలో హియర్ ద ట్యాక్స్ ఎక్స్పెండ్, ఐ మీన్ లీజ్ అమౌంట్ అనేది, లీజ్ రెంట్ అనేది ఇట్ ఈస్ we can say that deductible tax deductible expenditure annam. So 35% should be calculated on 3,30,000. So 35% should be calculated on 3,30,000. Then the amount will be 1,15,500. 35% should be calculated on 3,30,000. Here the amount will be 1,15,500. So after tax cash flows means 3,30,000 minus 1,15,500. 3,30,000 minus 1,15,500, then 2,14,500 will come. So here the present value at the rate of 12%. Now what is the discounting factor? 12%. So 12% at fifth year, 12% at fifth year daggara, if you see annuity table, the value will be at fifth year at 12%. Fifth year దగ్గర 12% దగ్గర the value will be 3.605 వస్తుంది. ఓకే, సో ఈ 3.605 అనేది ఈ రకంగా కూడా రావచ్చు. ఇఫ్ యూ మేక్ ద టోటల్ ఆఫ్ దీస్ 5, then you will get 3.605. okay, now to get total of PV cash outflows under leasing option, then 2,14,500 multiplied with present value at the rate of 12%, that is 3.605. So here 2,14,500 multiplied with 3.605, that is equals to 7,73,273. 7,73,273. Now see here, this is the amount. See, present value of cash outflows. This is present value of cash outflows under leasing option. This is under borrowing option. So here look at the decision criteria according to the lessee's point of view. See here, this is what about we have discussed in the beginning of the class. Lessee's point of view. See here, first determine present value of tax cash flows borrowing option. Second one, determine present value of after tax cash outflows under leasing option. So borrowing option lo, leasing option lo present value of after tax cash flows calculate చేసినాం. సో సో థర్డ్ స్టెప్ ఏంటి, కంపేర్ చేయాలి. కంపేర్ చేసి ఏం చేయాలి, సెలెక్ట్ ద ఆప్షన్ విత్ లోయర్ ప్రజెంట్ వాల్యూ ఆఫ్టర్ ట్యాక్స్ క్యాష్ ఫ్లోస్ షుడ్ బి సెలెక్టెడ్ అన్నాడు. సో నౌ సి, look at the conclusion. See here, present value of cash outflows under borrowing option, that is debt option, 7,09,494. Under leasing option, the present value of after tax cash outflows 7,73,273. సో ఈ రెండిట్లో ఏ అమౌంట్ అయితే తక్కువ ఉంటుందో ఆ ఆప్షన్ని మనం చూజ్ చేసుకోవాలని చెప్తున్నాడు. సో వెన్ కంపేర్ దీస్ టు, అల్టిమేట్లీ హియర్ 7,09,494 is only the less when compared to 7,73,273. So here the conclusion is, here debt option we will select, debt option will be selected. See here the decision or the conclusion, since present value of outflows is lower in borrowing option, so that is debt option, XYZ Limited should avail of the loan and purchase the equipment. సో లీజు వెళ్ళకుండా లోన్ తీసుకొని ఎక్విప్మెంట్ని పర్చేస్ చెయ్యాలి అని చెప్తున్నాడు. సో దిస్ ఈజ్ వాట్ అబౌట్ ద లీజింగ్ evaluation from lessee's point of view, that is user's point of view. Thank you.